If you ever see anybody who cannot wait spiritually, there are idols in his life. Anybody who cannot wait on the Lord has idols. Just the same way you sit before a doctor and the doctor is checking the symptoms. Okay, you've lost appetite. You're feverish. You have cough and cold. This is looking like malaria. We're going to put you on malaria treatment. I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying for example. I'm telling you, spiritual diagnosis, you see somebody who struggles to wait. A kind of person that every service is always too long for. Too long. Too long. Cut it short. Make it fast. Listen, such people are running to serve idols. They don't realize it. And I don't mean something literal, like a brazen image in your room somewhere. Anything that takes the place of God in your heart and now makes you indisposed to waiting on the Lord has become an idol. So what the children of Israel demonstrated is actually what a lot of believers do on a daily basis. Whatever you would rather do than pray, do than wait, that's your idol. And more often than not, it is with the very blessings that God gave us that we used to make idols. You realize it was the gold that they got by the favor of God in Egypt that they now gathered together to make. See, I can't tell you how familiar this is, because some of you, the very job you cried for is now the reason why God is crying for your attention. You expect him to understand. The very relationship he blessed you with has become an idol. Are you aware your wife can become an idol? Your husband can become an idol. Can be the very reason you will not fulfill purpose. What I'm saying cuts across different walks of life, different people at different levels of spiritual maturity. You know, the story I'm about to tell you is not a story that I heard in a tape. I was in the service when Pastor E. Adeboye told this story. He talked about how he got so busy in ministry, he couldn't keep the kind of prayer schedule he was keeping before. And then one day the Holy Ghost came to him. You see, when the Holy Ghost comes warning you like that, the Holy Ghost said, man of God. When the Holy Ghost calls you man of God, I know you are busy. I know you are busy with this great ministry. I mean, when you had just few members, you could spend hours with me. But you are busy now. With the very blessing that God gives you. And then let me tell you something. You may think this is extreme, but a lot of people act like it. When they made the brazen, the golden calf, they looked at it and said, this is the God that brought us out of Egypt. Now, you think that's extreme, but check many people who were once fervent, trusting in the Lord, and the breakthrough happened, and they claimed it was God who gave them the breakthrough. Do you realize you can be so prosperous, you are no longer sure? You're now thinking, what if it was my intelligence all this while? What if I was just too religious? What if now you are so exposed, so intelligent, you've traveled, your accent has started changing? Now you look at your past and edit it and say, maybe it was my might all along. There are people who act like this. So because God will not share his glory, he's saying, I've not even brought you into the promised land. You're already misbehaving. So instead of crossing the wilderness, you will circle it. And you know the dangerous part? You know the dangerous part? As they were circling the wilderness, miracles were still happening. Miracles were still happening. Manna was falling every day. Enough to keep them engrossed. Enough to make them not to even sit back and say, listen, this is good, but this is not God's best. Are you listening to me? So oh my God. Do you know you can show the spirit realm that you cannot handle more? And so this time around, it is not the devil that is causing the delay, it's God. And he's doing it because he loves you, ironically. Because you have shown with how you handled 1 million, that 1 billion will destroy you. So what you are supposed to cross, you are now circling. You are now circling. And guess what? Miracles are still happening. You are still feeling, maybe God had already destined that you will own a bank. But because of what is in your account, you are so engrossed. Too busy for God. And you are circling what you are meant to cross. Like I said, miracles were happening. Manna was still falling. 40 years in the wilderness, their clothes did not wear out. And as they were growing, the cloth was growing with them. Did you know that? Miracles. That was a miracle, wasn't it? Now, here's the scary part. Are you ready for this? Throughout the 40 years, they were led by the pillar of cloud and the pillar of fire. It was still divine leading, making them circle. It was still divine leading, making them circle. So it was God. It was God. God is committed to ensuring you never get any blessing that will derail you. And so they circle until that generation just dies out. And so you now come to Deuteronomy. It is their children. The children who were born in the wilderness. And then, like I've told you before, Deuteronomy literally means the reiteration of the law. Let's go over this thing again. Your parents did not hear. Let's see if you will hear. And he begins to give them instructions. One of the instructions he gives them clearly in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 16 and 17. Deuteronomy chapter 11 from verse 16 and 17, just in case you don't understand, the backstory and the context. At the time, they were at a vantage point close to the promised land. They could see the promised land already. But God says, before you enter, let's go over the law again. In chapter 8, it says, man shall not live by bread alone. I'm going to bless you, but you will not live by it. Are you getting what I'm saying? So, now, the school of Deuteronomy is a school that not many people have been through in preparation for success. And until you pass some of those compulsory courses in the spirit, you will remain in the wilderness. And this is one of the lessons. He says, take heed. This is a warning. Take it to yourself, lest your heart be deceived, and you turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. As you get into this promised land, don't do the same thing your foolish parents did. That after bringing them out of Egypt, they now turned around and said, it is the golden calf that brought them out. Now he's saying, don't turn. I can't bring you into a promised land, then you call the name of another god. Is this a fair deal or not? I'm going to bless you. I'm going to lead you into a land flowing with milk and honey. Give me my flowers. That's all. Verse 17. He said, lest the Lord's anger be aroused against you, and he shuts up the heaven so that there be no rain. It was very clear. If you call another god, I will shut up the heavens. Now, guess what? These people get into the promised land. They get influenced by the nations surrounding them. And instead of Yahweh, they begin to call on the name of Baal. And ironically, Baal was, amongst other things, believed to be responsible for rain. So you know what God did? Just said, okay, let's turn off the water faucet. And let Baal, whom you call for rain, let him give you rain. I mean, it's very simple. He gives you rain, let's see it. Come on, are you getting what I'm saying here? So this is what brings us to the story of Elijah. It brings us to James chapter 5 verse 17, which we started with, and the quotation about Elijah. So are you tracking with me now? Yes, so now, let's move on from this. So I just explained to you why the heavens were shut in the time of Elijah. And I said all of this to teach two important lessons. Number one, beware of idols. Wait on the Lord. Trust in Him and only Him.